Buenos dias. Every now and then on my channel, I like to do a stunt. So today's stunt involves Alzheimer's, one weekend, Discworld, and a lot of what are those things called? Sand timers. Can you tell I'm not using a script? Roll that intro and take a guess as to what we're doing this weekend. Okay, so you may have guessed it during the break, but I'm going to read all of the death novels from Discworld. So these are not in order, but I know the first one's Mort, which is what I'm going to start with. And then Reaper Man is on Kindle Unlimited, Thief of Time, Soul Music, and The Hogfather. And I am doing this to raise, one, awareness for Alzheimer's. My grandfather died of it, and I do have a cousin with it right now. And there's just been so much progress in Alzheimer's research that it really is a good cause. It's not like donating to something else that feels so futile because nothing's happened. We know Terry Pratchett tragically got Alzheimer's and died. So let's read about some death, shall we? Mort by Terry Pratchett. A death novel. So some of you may say I'm cheating a little by starting at noon on Thursday, but this is when my weekend starts. I don't have to be back in the classroom until Tuesday. So I've got 3.5 days and 5 books. Alright, well, I have read 12-ish pages. We have met our friend Death, who looks like a Grim Reaper skeleton, and our friend Mort, who has red hair and freckles. And he wants to be an apprentice to someone, so he goes out on Hog's Night Eve or something, waits until midnight, no one chooses him, until Death comes calling, and he will be Death's apprentice. So I did a little bit of math here, and 50 pages in, and it is going to take me 5.4 more hours to read. Let's flip this over. I can't see myself. I hope you can see me. But Mort has witnessed his first death, and there's lots of talk about how death is not fair. We can't avoid it. You know, it's not up to me, Death. It's up to the fates. And I was worried I wouldn't be able to like this just because humor in books is not really my thing. But as silly and absurdist as this is, it's also really smart. So, 5.4 hours. Let's go. I think you can see from the hair that I passed out. So I changed out of my dress and went to bed because I was really tired from training today. And I didn't get that much read because I was asleep. So I'm just going to read until I fall asleep again. And tomorrow, hopefully I'll finish this one and start Reaper Man. Pretty sure I forgot to say this earlier, but Death has a horse called Binky. Next morning, July 31st, which means it is the day before Lamastide, which means it is Juliet from Romeo and Juliet's birthday, which I think is pretty relevant because we're reading a book about death, and in Romeo and Juliet, Juliet's pretty obsessed with death. So, page 151 out of 270, let's keep reading. I am on page 182 of like 270, and Death is having a hard time. He's, doing the whole bartender thing, where he spills his guts to the bartender, and he's not doing great. And so the bartender says, "It would seem you have no useful skill or talent whatsoever. Have you thought of going into teaching?" Bartender: "I have a degree." Well, gotta go deal with the classroom. Hope the air conditioner works. Put in some work in the classroom. It's looking alright. Let's get back to business. Okay, well, one book down, and I'm gonna give this 4 stars. Like I said, I really am fascinated by death, but I still think it's a bad thing. Um, but you know, what's the song? You can be a cardinal, you can be a king, a farmer, a pope, but you still have to dance with death. So, in death, we're all equal. And there was a lot of that in this book. But the next one, Reaper Man, death has disappeared. Multiverse going in here. Is it WandaVision? No, it's Reaper Man. So I don't think that's very focused, and I'm doing my best here, but it's a new camera. But what you cannot see is that this book is going to take 4 hours and 6 minutes, and it is 8:01 p.m. on the 31st of July. Good morning. Just kidding, it's not morning, it's like 1 p.m. But I'm reading. This one's a teddy. Oh, I want it. Oh, how cute. You like the camera, Mr. Duncan. Look at you. I think you belong to somebody.
Yeah, he's friendly.
Yeah. Well, no, down here it's...
Good for you, dude. That's fine.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
Not by them.
My mom said he looked like a beetle with his bowl cut, like the band.
Yeah.
Hi, Lee. So sweet. Hi. Pouch.
He's probably just cleaner about everything.
Hello. Hi. So I just got back from running some errands with my guinea pigs, which hopefully you saw in the last clip, but I wanted to read you this. So, our undead wizard, Mr. Poons, is now at a medium, and he's talking about, well, isn't it a little bit supernatural to deal with dead people? And our medium responds, what? What? Nothing supernatural about dead people. Load of nonsense. Everyone dies sooner or later. Yeah, I love that. Okay, well, evidently that camera was running a little bit longer than I thought, but that's okay. Just finished Reaper Man, and I did get sort of lost in toward the middle endish. That's probably because I'm not very familiar with just Discworld, and Pratchett's writing is a little bit on the vague side anyway. But I'm gonna give that 4 stars, maybe 4.5. It is really one of the better books I've read this year. I thought it was really funny how death became like rats and then fleas, and is like his very black death of Terry Pratchett. But we are going to book number 3, Soul Music. Alright, so Soul Music. Evidently it is about Death's granddaughter and rock music. And according to Terry Pratchett, this is a story about memory. I really like this part right here, page 33 in Soul Music. It's talking about how you can't really replace an instrument because an instrument has a soul. Hello, I hope you can see me. I can't see myself. And I feel like that's true in a way, as someone who played the saxophone for the longest time, and I guess I still play it. I could. What's put back together is just a thing. It's not the instrument, it's something else. Like the hair? Neither do I. But anyway, Susan, the granddaughter of Death, is good at any sport that involves putting a stick in her hand and swinging it, like a scythe. She plays hockey, lacrosse, and rounders. And I find it interesting that lacrosse is part of the Discworld. Like, obviously it is a fantasy world, but Terry Pratchett was British, and lacrosse is like the oldest American sport. It's one of the reasons we don't really play sports like hurling, for example, because we have lacrosse. And it's so old. The Native Americans played it. Now mostly rich white kids play it. But holding a stick and swinging it, that's not really what you do in lacrosse. You more so like flick it. It's not a full swing. But maybe it is more like the motion of the axe. But anyway, I love lacrosse. I love the America rep. Good work. I just binged the crap out of soul music, and I can really, really see why Death is a favorite character. Because he's not cruel, he's not fair, he's not just, he just is what he is, and there is something beautiful about that. Now, the next book is a Christmas book, Hogfather, and I think I'm gonna end the vlog after having read Soul Music. I'm not a very musical person. I do play the saxophone and I can sing, but I'm not like obsessed with rock or anything. And these Discworld books, I don't think are the best to binge because, at least to someone who just started and read three back to back, they do get a little disorientating sometimes because there's not a lot of description. um, and it kind of jumps in and out of reality. So it is a little bit difficult. Um, so I didn't complete the stunt, I guess, but the original Death novels were a trilogy, so I'm going to kind of justify it there. My favorite was Reaper Man, and my favorite character is the Death of Rats. So, last thoughts on death, on real death. I do think death is a bad thing. That being said, we shouldn't be scared of it. No, I don't think there's really anything that happens after you die, but at the end of the day, I'd rather die right now than live forever. So, peace out.